You have an exhibition opening here in October. Tell me about it.
The show is called Deconstructing Vaughn Belak. It is not anything that the people who followed my work would expect. This isn't a typical Vaughn October event. There's not going to be any monsters. There's not going to be any witches. There's none of that. The artwork in this show is much more personal. This show is much more me than the work that I'm known for. So it's absolutely something that people won't expect.
You're involved in many groups, your community, as many as there are. How do you help your community? How do you help your fellow artists? How do you make things better in Orlando?
I'm involved in a lot of aspects of recovery. I have a lot of history of drugs and alcohol in my life, and the idea that I could get through that and be able to recover and become able to at least do a fairly decent impersonation of a decent person, like I don't want to take much credit for any of that. If I can show somebody that you can be creative and productive and you don't have to be drunk or high or whatever, like I used to think I had to drink in order to be creative, and the fact that I don't, if I can show somebody that, then that's important to me.
What do you want people to take away from this experience?
I want them to come and see a different thing, a different aspect of what I do. I want them to come and when they leave, I want them to have a different impression of me as an artist. I've been on this kind of street level plane for so long, and the decision to come into the gallery world is something that consciously I've been pursuing.
How does it feel to be so vulnerable? You're bleeding for your audience this time. That must have a different feeling to it.
That's not true. This is
not true.
This is absolutely the most vulnerable position, creatively, professionally, personally, mentally, spiritually, all of the above that I've ever been. I'm literally just a raw fucking bundle of nerves exposed, and so a lot of these paintings, the colors represent. They can represent pain. It can represent disconnection. There's a lot of things to this show that I've never ever explored before with the work that I do.
Is that why this is probably the most important art event that you have created so far?
It didn't start that way, but yeah, it's definitely taken on a new level of importance to me anyway. Getting all of this shit out of myself, getting all of this stuff that's just poison inside of me.
Noise, as you call it.
It's
right?
definitely noise. It's definitely fucking noise. Getting it out and onto the canvas in any way I've been able to.
What advice do you have for somebody that is watching this, gets entirely what you're saying, but has no one to give him a good word of advice? What would be your advice to this person?
I would just talk to them about how pain has a way of teaching you lessons that you would never expect that you'd be able to make it through. And if you can continue walking through that and get to the other side of that hallway of whatever that is, and be able to maybe sit down with somebody that's going through the same thing and share that experience the same way I would share with them and the same way that people shared it with me, then that makes whatever that situation was worthwhile. If I can pass it to somebody else and say, you can do this because I can do this. I'm no better or worse than fucking anybody. I'm just a guy going through some situations that I don't know how to navigate gracefully. And keep moving is really the one thing I would say, is just to continue to walk through whatever that fucking thing is.
Fair enough. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Do not stop. Just keep going.
Keep going.
That's kind of what you and I did. We didn't stop.
Yeah.
I think this is, like I said, a really interesting event because people are going to be looking for things in your paintings. You know they are.
I do.
Now that we've kind of established that it's about your stuff. I'm very excited about this. I'm glad you and I found each other again after a long time.
Absolutely.
Because my career started with you. My very first art event was at an exhibition of yours 11 years ago, which is it's interesting.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. But anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for everything, and thank you for this opportunity. And I truly appreciate all the effort you put into this.
Friday, October 2nd, Deconstructing Vaughn Belak at 6:30 at Mills Gallery. Please be there. It's going to be cool.
See you there.